Alright, I told you guys I'd make this video, so here it is. Boot camp. Yep, I tried to upload a video twice now, but the original video I tried uploading was too long for YouTube. So, this is the condensed Cliff Notes version of my original video. So, I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Let's start with, I'm just gonna say this now, just to give the opening. Boot camp sucks. It's terrible. Nobody likes it. But, you know, we all know that we have to do it because in the end it's totally worth it. You know, just, you gotta remember the CCs, they're just doing their job. Nothing is personal, so don't take it personal because that will destroy you. It's a crap sandwich. You gotta get it down. You gotta eat it, get it over with. It might take 8 weeks to digest that thing, but once it's down, you know, you're good to go. Okay, we'll start with talking about week one. Week one, you know, it's pretty much the introduction to boot camp. The company commanders really make their first impression on you, and it's a pretty dang good one because, like, right as you pull up, they're all waiting there outside of Sexton Hall. They step onto that bus, start yelling at you. Everybody runs off like a bunch of headless chickens looking for their bags. They run you inside. They go ahead and sort through all your crap. You lock your stuff up, and Sexton Hall week one, that's basically like, you know, just getting you into the mindset, I guess. You could say that, I'm not sure. But it's just an introduction. Now you meet your company commanders Friday week one, and that's when things get crazier because your company commanders are the ones who are going to be ITing you. You don't get IT week one, or at least until after you meet your company commanders. So, week 2 through, I want to say, week 6, all suck. You're gonna get IT'd a lot. You're not gonna relax, not at all. You know, things start easing up week 7, and then week 8 things are awesome. But that's all I'm gonna say there. I'm not gonna say anything else. But yeah, be prepared to work your butt off all the time. Never let up, because they'll notice that and they'll beat you for it. So yeah, all the weeks pretty much suck, you know. I mean, you're gonna have class time, which we loved class time because it meant being away from our company commanders most of the time, and you're gonna learn a lot of cool things in class. You know, there's a firearms class, there's line handling class, there's like helm class, there's tying knots, there's all sorts of classes you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn about financial things, you're gonna learn about history. There's some interesting classes, and if you're like me, you're gonna like those classes. And yes, it is okay to stand up in the back of the class. They encourage it, especially if you're falling asleep. It's better that you catch yourself doing it than them, because if they catch you, it's not good to go. Alright, so now let's talk about the galley. The galley is pretty stressful. Not a lot of people like the galley at all. Okay, I'm not gonna say that. I'm going to say nobody likes the environment of the galley. Because you're not relaxing in the galley. You're stiff. You're not allowed to look around. You have to look straight down at your food. If you want a napkin or something, or salt or pepper, you just got to point at it and keep your head down. And, you know, somebody's going to pass it to you, but yeah, it's not a relaxing environment at all. And then when you start getting up, you know, they're going to quiz you. They're going to quiz you on your required knowledge, and you better know it too, because they will take note if you don't, and you could end up on probation, you could end up at ramp, you know, things could happen. So make absolutely sure that you know your required knowledge. You should know the required knowledge from the helmsman before you even get there. I mean, that's really important. And hang on just a moment. Where on earth did I set that thing? Oh, here it is. Alright. So, I'm going to go over what you should know before you arrive. General orders, duh. Memorize that word for word because they quizzed the crap out of you on that. Make sure you memorize your ethos word for word. Make sure you memorize the common nautical terms. They never quizzed us on it, but it'll come in handy later. You should memorize how to address personnel. Rates and ranks, extremely important. Not only should you know what they look like, but you should know how to say them, because they're going to quiz you on that, and you're going to get another knowledge packet when you get there, and it has everything else you should learn, because this is not all you need to know. There's going to be other stuff they're going to make you learn. So once you get that, stop studying this, study that. It's got everything you need to know. So yeah, if you want to know how to say these, you know, I'm going to go over a couple, like an Echo 4, Petty Officer 3rd Class. If they asked you the sleeve insignia, you would say the sleeve insignia for an Echo 4 is 01 red chevron. If you wanted to say the collar device for an Echo 4, it would be 01 gold chevron. Echo 7, the sleeve insignia would be 03 gold chevrons below 01 gold rocker. The collar device would be 01 gold anchor. And then, you know, with the officer structure, ensign would be 01 gold bar, lieutenant junior grades 01 silver bar, lieutenant 02 silver bars. The sleeve insignias, they're specific on that. There's like inch measurements, so like the kind of thick ones there are half-inch gold bands. So you'd say the sleeve insignia for an Oscar 1 is 01 half-inch gold band. Lieutenant junior grade, you'd say the sleeve insignia for lieutenant junior grade, or Oscar 2, whatever. It depends on if they ask you the pay grade or if they ask you lieutenant junior grade or whatever. So yeah, you would say the sleeve insignia is 01 half-inch gold band below 01 quarter-inch gold band. Lieutenant would be 02 half-inch gold bands. And they do it like that, you know. Chief warrant officer, same way. They do measurements on the sleeve insignias, but on the collar devices, right here, it's like 0, like Chief Warrant Officer 2 would be 01 gold bar with 03 blue breaks. And then for the sleeve insignia, it would be 01 half-inch gold band with 03 blue breaks. So just look that up online, study that. See here, oh yeah, required knowledge stuff. Semper Paratus, the song, you're only going to need to know this part, but you don't really need to know it until week 8, I think it is. There's like a board up there that shows you like what you should be knowing at certain times. Let's see here. The flags and pennants, I mean, that'll come in handy for tests and stuff, but they're not going to quiz you on that, more than likely. Core values, know them. Know the rates. The rates are important. They'll quiz you. Like what they'll do is they'll ask you, what is the enlisted rate for Alpha Echo Tango? And you gotta say what it is. You gotta say avionics electrical technician. Let's see here. Oh, chain of command too. There's a chain of command you should memorize. The only things in your chain of command you will not know before getting there are your company commanders and your section commander. But what you can memorize is the battalion commander, who is Senior Chief Culinary Specialist Pace. Battalion officer, that's Lieutenant Junior Grade Parocha. The regimental officer, Lieutenant Commander Matthews. The training officer, Commander Scott. The executive officer, Commander Muse. You will memorize the commanding officer, Captain Gibbons. Force Readiness Command, that's Rear Admiral's Troop. And it's spelled Throop, but it's Troop. And then Deputy Commandant for Mission Support is Vice Admiral Stows. Commandant of the Coast Guard is Admiral Zukunft. You've got to know the Secretary of Homeland Security, who is the Honorable John F. Kelly, and the Commander-in-Chief, that is Donald J. Trump. Did I nail them all? Yes, I did. Okay. So you got to memorize chain of command too. And then there's going to be other like daily knowledge things you have to memorize, like Officer of the Day, Training Duty Officer, Section Hall Watchstander. You're going to need to memorize those every day because there's going to be new ones, as well as the Regimental Sunset. Okay, so there's going to be like company jobs and like things you volunteer for. I know some people say don't volunteer, some people say do. What I'm telling you is you should volunteer for certain things. If you have the opportunity to do colors, do colors. It's an honor and it's pretty cool. So, you should do colors, I think. Also, if you can get historian, that's what I was, do it. It's a nice job. You get to write blogs for people outside to read. Like people outside of boot camp, your family can read those blogs. So try to land historian if you can. And then there's other jobs like laundry detail and stuff, work detail. You could get those if you want, but I don't like those because I don't like walking around on regiment alone. Alright, let's see here. There's going to be other things you're going to learn there, including like the marching, that's fun. Manual of arms, like you're going to have an M16 and you're going to learn how to do like marching stuff with that. That's pretty cool. You're going to get to shoot. You're going to get to go to a shooting range too. You're not going to shoot the M16. You're going to shoot the 6 Sauer, and that's pretty cool. And we all enjoyed that. Some people qualified for marksmanship, but not a lot of people did, including myself. I did not. So you had to score kind of high for marksmanship. But we got to go off base for the range, so that was pretty cool. No CCs. And then there's other things they're very particular about, like greeting. That's why I hate walking around on regiment alone, is because, if you greet a company commander wrong, like if, let's see, there's a chief and a petty officer like walking by each other, which one do you greet? Which one? Well, it's supposed to be the one on the left. No, they're going to give you rules and regulations. Make sure you read on that because a lot of people mix it up. So yeah, the one on the left is the one you're supposed to greet, I do believe. And yeah, so when you're greeting, make sure you say the proper greeting. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Followed by who they are, like Petty Officer Bob, like good morning Petty Officer Sasquatch or whatever. And you're going to be able to like identify who they are by their smoky hat. If they're a petty officer, it'll be like the regular Coast Guard emblem. If they're a chief, well, they're going to have their collar device. So Echo 7s and above have their collar devices on their smoky hats. Petty officers do not. And then, put that together with their nameplate and put together your greeting. There you go. But make sure you're loud. Of course, they'll probably still mess with you because they love messing with people. They do. So yeah, try to avoid walking alone as much as possible. That's my advice. It's not fun messing up on a salute or something when you run into a commissioned officer. I mean, usually they're pretty cool about it. They'll just tell you, look, you did this wrong, don't do it again. But still, avoid it. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to talk about probation and ramp. Now, probation and ramp absolutely suck. Ramp is basically like from morning to night, they're doing like physically exerting crap with you. Like you're going to run miles a day. You're going to like hold mattresses over your heads. You're going to hold M1s, one in each hand. A whole bunch of physically exerting crap for I think it was either 4 or 5 days straight. But yeah, ramp is awful. And probation, that's not as bad, but it's still like, that's more FaceTime pretty much. Like when everybody else is getting to do their stuff, like their own personal stuff, like you'll be out there with the company commanders. They'll quiz you on your required knowledge, they'll quiz you on marching, they'll like inspect your uniform a little bit, they'll inspect your rack. Yeah, rack has to be immaculate, by the way. There's like certain regulations for how things should be folded. Make sure you meet those regulations because they're pretty strict on it. I've seen them take rulers to close, and yeah, just make sure you try your best. You have a ruler. You're gonna have a ruler, so you can use that to measure your stuff. So now here's the thing. You can avoid being on probation and you can avoid being on ramp. You just have to be loud, be fast, do the right thing, Don't sandbag. Try your best every time you're IT'd. Show them you're trying your absolute best. And they will not they won't do that, you know. If you know your required knowledge and you show confidence, they're not going to have a reason to put you on probation or ramp. Just don't give any attitude and don't screw around, alright? That's the main thing. Because, I mean, there were plenty of nice people in our company, and they just couldn't handle it, you know. They either didn't have that military bearing, or they didn't show the confidence, they couldn't talk right. By the way, talking right is important too. Yeah, so if you're talking to somebody, you either say, yes, Petty Officer blank, no, Petty Officer blank, aye, Petty Officer blank. And then if it's an open-ended question, you're going to say, Petty Officer blank, seaman recruit, whoever you are, and then you're going to talk. That's how you do that. So, let's see here. Yeah, I was going to give you a quick rundown of a few exercises you should do to get ready for the IT sessions. Okay. This is like a regular curl bar, and I'm just going to use this to show a few things that you could do. So, one thing you could do is get used to holding like really close grip like this for maybe 20 minutes at a time, because that's going to really benefit you if you can hold this up for 20 minutes. Let's see here. Another thing you're going to want to do is just be able to do that about 3 sets of 50 reps. That's a good one. Doing this. Holding it like, you know, out here in front of you. That's a good one. That is a very good one. And then also squats. Squats are good too. Hold this out, bring it in, hold it out, bring it in, hold it out, bring it in. Trust me, it will be very useful, or not useful. It will behoove you, I think that's how you say it, if you do these exercises and you go to boot camp in good shape. It definitely will. It will save you a world of pain. So, yeah, there's a few good ones you should practice. It's not about strength so much as it is endurance, because you're going to be constantly worn out due to the lack of sleep and the fact that you're always moving. You're always doing something. So, yeah. Get ready, because it's a wake-up call. If you've never had any struggles in your life like me, or what I'm saying is, like, I've never had any struggles. I've had it easy my entire life. And this was hard. I'm sure it was hard for everybody, but yeah, it was pretty crazy for me, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm going to talk about here. If you have any further questions, feel free to comment. I'll reply. And that's going to do it for this video. I will post another one once I get to my unit and I get settled into my barracks. Maybe try to do a tour of my room, and hopefully do some tours of the town maybe. Well, we'll see how it goes, alright? So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next video.